I remember that morning so clearly. The sun was just peeking through the curtains in our bedroom, casting a soft light on the bed where John was still sleeping. I stood there, my suitcase packed quietly by the door, and whispered goodbye without waking him. It wasn't with tears or anger. Just a quiet smile on my face, because after all those years, I finally chose peace. You see, for so long, I had stayed silent. I thought love meant holding on, no matter how much it hurt. But that day, as I closed the door behind me, I felt a weight lift off my chest. It was like breathing fresh air after being trapped inside for too long. I walked down the stairs, my footsteps soft on the carpet, and paused in the living room. Photos of us smiled back from the walls, our wedding day, the kids as babies, holidays we pretended were happy. I touched one frame gently, feeling a pang in my heart, but no regret. Not anymore. Why did it take so long? I asked myself that as I stepped outside into the cool air. The neighborhood was quiet, just a few birds singing. I got into my car, the engine humming softly, and drove away without looking back. That drive felt endless, miles stretching out like the years I'd lost. But in my mind, it all started replaying the good times, the bad, the silence that grew between us. I wasn't running away. I was walking toward something better. Peace. That's what I chose over love that day. It hurt, though. Deep down, where no one could see. I thought about our children, grown now, and how they'd understand someday. Maybe they'd even forgive me for staying as long as I did. Love isn't supposed to break you, I realized. But mine had, piece by piece. As the city faded into countryside, I let a few tears fall, but they were quiet ones. The kind that clean your soul. I met John when I was 22. Fresh out of college, working at a little coffee shop downtown. He came in every morning for black coffee and a muffin. Tall, with kind eyes and a laugh that filled the room. One day, he asked me out, and I said yes without thinking twice. Our first date was simple, a walk in the park, ice cream cones melting in our hands. We talked for hours about dreams and family. He wanted kids, a house with a yard. So did I. It felt right. We got married 2 years later. A small wedding in my parents' backyard, with white flowers and string lights. I wore a simple dress, and he looked at me like I was the only person in the world. Our honeymoon was at a cabin by the lake. We fished, cooked meals together, and promised forever. Back home, we bought a little house on Elm Street. Painted the walls blue, planted flowers in the front. Life felt full of promise. Our first child, Emily, came along soon after. She had John's eyes and my smile. Holding her, I felt complete. John was a good dad at first, changing diapers, reading bedtime stories. Then came our son, Michael, 2 years later. The house was noisy with laughter and cries. I quit my job to stay home, baking cookies and helping with homework. John worked long hours at the office, providing for us. Evenings, we'd sit at the kitchen table, sharing the day. It was ordinary, but it was ours. But little things started to change. John got promoted, and stress followed him home. He'd snap over small stuff, like dinner being late. I'd apologize, smooth it over. I loved him after all. My parents had taught me that marriage takes work. So I worked harder, keeping the house spotless, planning family outings. Friends envied our life from the outside. But inside, I felt a quiet ache sometimes. Like something was off, but I couldn't name it. Years passed like that. Emily started school. Michael learned to ride a bike. We had barbecues with neighbors, holiday dinners with extended family. John and I still held hands in public, kissed goodnight. But alone, conversations turned short. I'd share my feelings, and he'd brush them off. "You're overthinking," he'd say. I started keeping thoughts to myself. It was easier that way. Peace at home meant silence from me. I remember one evening after the kids were in bed. John came home late, smelling of beer from after-work drinks. I asked if everything was okay. He sighed, said work was tough. I hugged him, but he pulled away. "Not now," he muttered. I went to bed alone, staring at the ceiling, wondering if this was normal. My sister called the next day, sensing something. "You sound tired," she said. I laughed it off. Just busy with the kids. But deep down, I knew it was more. Time kept moving. Emily got into dance classes, Michael joined soccer. I drove them everywhere, cheering from the sidelines. John missed a few games, then more. Work calls, he'd explain. I'd nod, understanding. But the house felt emptier. Dinners were quiet. I'd ask about his day, get one-word answers. I tried date nights, candlelit dinners at home. He'd eat quickly, turn on the TV. I stopped trying after a while. Better to avoid disappointment. My days filled with routines. Laundry, groceries, parent-teacher meetings. I made friends with other moms at school. They'd complain about husbands, laugh it off. I joined in, but mine felt different. Deeper. Like a shadow growing. John started criticizing little things, my cooking, how I dressed. You used to care more, he'd say. I'd smile, change the subject. Inside, it stung. But I stayed silent. For the family. For love. Emily's teenage years brought more changes. She argued with John over curfews. You're too strict, she'd say. He'd raise his voice. I'd step in, mediate. Keep peace. Michael retreated to his room, headphones on. I felt like the glue holding us together. But glue can crack. One day, John came home angry from work. Blamed me for a bill I forgot. You're useless sometimes. His words hit hard. I cried in the bathroom, silent tears. Didn't tell anyone. I tried talking to him. We need to communicate better. He laughed. You're the one who's distant. It hurt. I pulled back more. Focused on the kids. Volunteered at school, joined a book club. Small escapes. But home was heavy. Silence became my shield. I stopped sharing dreams. Stopped expecting change. Love meant endurance, I thought. But endurance has limits. Small tensions built like storm clouds. John started staying out later. Networking, he called it. I'd wait up, worry. When he came home, he'd be irritable. Stop nagging. I wasn't nagging. Just concerned. But I stopped asking. Better that way. The kids noticed. Emily asked, why doesn't Dad talk to you anymore? I smiled. He's busy, sweetie. Inside, my heart ached. One weekend, we had family dinner. I cooked his favorite, roast chicken. He ate in silence, phone in hand. Michael tried joking. John snapped. Not now. The table went quiet. I cleared plates, hiding my hurt. Later, in bed, I reached for his hand. He turned away. That rejection stung deep. I lay there, tears silent on my pillow, wondering how we got here. Misunderstandings grew. I'd plan a surprise birthday for him. Friends over, cake. He came home tired, complained about the mess. I just wanted quiet. I apologized. Cleaned up alone. Felt foolish. Emily saw. Mom, you do too much. I hugged her. It's okay. But it wasn't. My efforts felt unseen. Unappreciated. John's moods swung more. Good days, he'd bring flowers. Say sorry. I'd melt, remember why I loved him. Bad days, criticism flowed. The house is a mess. It wasn't. I'd just cleaned. I'd nod, fix it. Keep silent. For peace. But peace felt false. Like walking on eggshells. The kids suffered too. Michael withdrew. Grades slipped. I talked to him. What's wrong? Home feels tense, he said. My heart broke. I promised it'd get better. But how? John dismissed it. Kids are dramatic. I pushed. We need counseling. He refused. We're fine. I dropped it. Silence again. One evening, after a fight over money, John yelled, "You spend too much." I didn't. It was groceries. I stayed calm. Let's talk. He stormed out. Doors slammed. Kids upstairs scared. I comforted them. Dad stressed. But I felt alone. So alone. Tensions mounted. Holidays were strained. Thanksgiving, family over. John drank too much. Argued with my brother. I smoothed it. Smiled through. Christmas. Gifts under tree. But joy was missing. I felt empty. Wondering if this was toxic. The word scared me. But it fit. I started journaling. Private thoughts. Today, he ignored me. Felt invisible. It helped. A little. Friends suggested therapy. For me. I went secretly. Therapist said, silence isn't healthy. I nodded. Knew it. But change felt impossible. More incidents. John lost his temper over laundry. Threw clothes. Do better. I picked up silent. Emily confronted him. Leave Mom alone. He grounded her. I mediated. Again. My role. But exhaustion set in. Body ached. Spirit tired. Nights, I'd think. Recall early love. Wonder where it went. Blame myself. Maybe I changed. But deep down, knew it was us. Both. But he wouldn't see. The breaking point neared. Small things added up. Like drops filling a bucket. Until it overflowed. It happened on a rainy Tuesday. John came home early, unusual. I was in the kitchen making tea. Kids at friends' houses. He sat at the table, head in hands. What's wrong? I asked softly. He looked up, eyes cold. I met someone. My world stopped. What? He repeated. At work. It's nothing serious. But I feel alive with her. Words like knives. But calm. No yell. I sat down, hands shaking. How long? A few months. Betrayal washed over me. Not anger. Just deep sadness. I didn't cry then. Just listened. He explained. Our marriage is stale. You don't excite me. Blamed me. For silence. For everything. I felt numb. Years of staying quiet and this. Inner thoughts raced. I gave everything. But said nothing. He talked more. I love you, but not in love. Cliché. Hurt anyway. I nodded. Okay. He seemed surprised. Expected fight? I had none left. Silence my weapon now. That night, alone in guest room. Tears came. Quiet sobs. Betrayed. But also relieved? Truth out. No more pretending. Next day's blur. We talked little. Kids sensed. Emily asked. What's happening? I hugged her. We'll be okay. John moved to couch. Atmosphere heavy. Like fog. I saw therapist. This is the turning point. She said. Choose you. Words echoed. Years silent. Now voice emerged. Inner strength. Confronted John. Calmly. This hurts. But I see now. He apologized. Sort of. Didn't mean to. But damage done. Decided then. To leave. Not revenge. For peace. Packed slowly. Thoughtfully. Memories in boxes. Told kids. Mom and Dad need space. They cried. I held them. Love you always. Heart broke. But necessary. The day I left. As in Hook. Door closed. New beginning. After leaving, I rented a small apartment downtown. Simple place with a view of the park. Unpacked boxes slowly, each item a memory. The kids visited weekends. Emily helped decorate. It's cozy, Mom. Michael played games on the floor. We laughed more. Freely. John called often at first. Come back. I said no. Calmly. Need time. Therapy continued. Unpacked emotions. Years of silence. Learned to speak up. Found a job. Part-time at a bookstore. Surrounded by stories. Like mine. Made new friends. Joined a support group. Shared. Listened. Healed. Kids adjusted. Split time. John softened. Apologized truly. I was wrong. Forgiveness came slow. Not for him. For me. Months passed. Dated myself. Walks in park, coffee alone. Rediscovered joy. Painted. Something I stopped years ago. Colors brighten life. Reconnected with family. Sister visited. You look alive. I felt it. Peace settled in. Like home. Challenges came. Money tight. Lonely nights. But stronger. Realizations grew. Toxic love drains. Peace nourishes. Kids thrived. Emily danced more. Michael opened up. Proud of you, Mom. Tears of joy. A year later, divorce final. No bitterness. Just closure. John moved on. I wished well. Silently. Life bloomed. Traveled a bit. Saw ocean again. Felt free. Realization deepened. Staying silent cost years. But choosing peace saved me. Looking back, I see the journey. From love's promise to silence's cage, to freedom's embrace. It wasn't easy, but worth it. If there's a lesson, it's this. Love yourself enough to seek peace, even if it means letting go. Life goes on. With hope. Always.